The Oasis boys there.
New single from Oasis falling down.
Everyone's growing older, which brings me to Bruce Campbell. Because
speaking of old,
Bruce Campbell is a brilliant, talented actor, a lovely, witty, warm man. I met you. When did we first meet, Bruce?
I think around 1983, the incredibly strange film
No, it would be
show.
after. It was about 88. It was about 88.
Okay.
It was about 20 years ago. And I was making a series for Channel 4 called The Incredibly Strange Film Show, and I was a big fan of the Evil Dead movies, and I knew Sam Raimi was about to make something new. He was making some weird film. I think you were in it. It's only a cameo. You were off doing Maniac Cop.
Was it Darkman?
No, it wasn't Darkman, which I loved as well. No, it was something about a killer in a supermarket.
Oh, Intruder.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Intruder.
written by Scott Spiegel, who wrote Evil Dead 2.
Terrible film, Intruder.
Yeah, it kind of is.
But The Evil Dead's what a great series, and still today, I guess people, that would be what they would best know you for.
They want another one, too.
Yeah.
They can't get enough.
Yeah.
They want part 4, but I say if you want part 4, then did you want Indiana Jones part 4?
Yes.
No.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, I want to see
You're
Ash
the
back.
one.
I want to see you back as Ash. Come on, in the
come
Evil Dead
on. No,
film.
the chainsaws are too heavy.
No, come on, don't be lazy, but they can CGI them in on you. You can just wave your arms around and pretend you've got them.
That's a good idea.
Did you? No, they were fun films to make. The difference.
No, they were not fun to make. They were fun to watch.
They were fun to make. You had a lot of fun making the books. I'm sure it was low budget. You did. You all pulled together.
I did because of Sam. You know, Sam Raimi's a really crazy, inventive director.
Yeah. You knew him since you were a kid, didn't you?
Yeah, I first saw him in about 8th grade. He was dressed as Sherlock Holmes, sitting on the floor of a hallway playing with dolls. And later he tried to explain it. He said, oh, no, I was making a movie, but, you know, there was no camera anywhere. And then I didn't see him for several years, and then we met in drama class in high school.
Were you trying to make movies as well? Did you ever do kind of like fool around with the camera when you were a kid?
Yeah, it was all neighborhoods. Yeah. He did little films in his neighborhood. I did those in mine. And then in high school, you know, all the neighborhoods go to the same school finally.
Yeah. And because you were the best looking one, you got to act in them when you finally
I was taller than everybody else, so that was it.
So they weren't actually fun to make them, but they were certainly fun to watch. And they still, are you surprised that people still talk as fondly of them, that people still love the Evil Dead movies as much today as they did back then?
It's sort of relentless. A guy came up not too long ago and said, Bruce, I need to show you my back. I said, really? Why? He said, just let me show you. He took his shirt off, and his whole back was tattooed with the poster from Army of Darkness in full color.
So Army of Darkness was number 3, wasn't it?
That was the third one.
Well, that's quite an elaborate poster to have on your back as well.
It's very elaborate and very expensive and very painful.
A lot of line work involved in that.
Yeah, and sometimes fathers will come up with their son and say that they're sort of ceremonially passing the torch to their son. You know, one other kid came up one time, and I wrote a book about those experiences, If Chins Could Kill, Confessions of a B-Movie Actor. And a kid came up to a book signing, he threw the book at me and said, sign my book. He was being a little curt. I said, what's the matter? Who should I write it to? He goes, make it out to Ash. I said, is that your real name? He says, yeah, my parents named me after your stupid movie. So I've infected children.
Let me ask you about the third movie, because I'm getting a bit kind of like, you know, I'm a big Evil Dead fan. There were a number of alternate endings for that, I believe, weren't there?
Yeah, because once you get into the studio world and then you start to spend money, they second-guess everything. Yeah. And the sad thing is that a lot of decisions are made by unemployed people who are brought in out of a mall to sit down and do focus groups. And that's really where that's born. If your numbers aren't high enough, they'll...
So after a test screening, if people don't approve it, they'll try and make it...
Yeah, and so we shot a quote-unquote happy ending, which is in the movie now. Yeah. But, of course, in all the 87 versions that are released, there's the director's cut. So people have seen both.
You finally get to see... I think I've seen both. I got it on Laserdisc back in the days before DVD.
Yes.
Yeah. What are you working on at the moment? You've got a new movie coming out over here right now. It's called My Name is Bruce.
Indeed.
But before we talk about that, do you have the next movie lined up already, or is it kind of like one?
Well, actually, my day job is I'm on television currently on a show called Burn Notice. It's the #1 show on cable in the States.
Wow. Well,
it's a spy show.
I don't think we've had that over here. I don't think
it's on FX. It's sort of under the radar.
Okay, well, I will watch that. Burn Notice, and this is kind of a spy modern thriller.
Yeah, but what it is it's the human side of spies. It's not just gritty spies blowing things up. It's when the spies aren't being spies, what are they doing? They're helping their mother fix her garbage disposal.
So they're not just a nameless henchman that we see in movies and all these guys with problems in real life.
Yeah. Starring Jeffrey Donovan, who was just in Changeling.
Oh, right. Oh, yes.
As the evil cop.
Well, a great film, of course.
Not bad.
Now, Bruce, let's ask you about My Name is Bruce. What's the idea behind this film? You've written this and directed it yourself?
It was written by Mark Verheiden and produced by myself and Mike Richardson, who owns Dark Horse Comics.
Oh, I know Dark Horse.
In the States. Yeah, nice alternative comic book company. And he lives in the same state I do, Oregon. He lives up in Portland. He knew I wanted to make movies, and so those two guys came up with the concept of a C-grade actor who has been in a lot of horror movies, and he's kidnapped by a fan to help fight a real monster that's invading a small town in Oregon.
And they think that he has the chops to do it.
Because he's been in all these movies, but it turns out to be probably the worst idea ever.
And who plays this C-movie actor?
Some guy.
So they came to you, Bruce, and they said, we want you, but is there a moment where they think maybe we shouldn't say this because it's going to be too close to home?
Well, what was the most twisted part of it is that he's named Bruce Campbell.